Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up? It's Tud.
And I'm Jenna.
Wait, I'm here. It's Obert. Jenna.
Whoa, Obert!
No,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to be here. You
know.
have to leave.
Yeah, no one wants to hear you. Everybody wants to hear Jenna.
Yeah.
Great.
Go hike in Peru somewhere.
Yeah, no, I was supposed to be out this episode hiking around Peru, but and we got the lovely Jenna to fill in for me, but I was able to make it, so we have all four of us today.
No. We
Yeah,
already decided you're off.
Okay.
he already just.
All right, thanks, folks, and remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.
So yeah, Obert destroyed hiking Peru. He was like so good at it. Peru gave up and was like, "Yeah, just
Go home.
Just go do the podcast."
Yeah,
Just the country submitted. Just like they tapped out.
That's it.
that's what happened, and now I'm here.
But we are neglecting our guests. Who we're glad Obert is able to join us, but we're neglecting our guests. So Jenna, what's up? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Blue hair and all.
I'm good. Just relaxing, waiting to drink this beer.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're all doing. Relaxing, waiting to drink beer.
Welcome back. Yeah,
So-
our second ever guest of the podcast is also the same as our first ever guest.
Well,
So,
Well, technically, she's the first and the fifth guest if you count Base, Crystal, and Black.
that's a good point. I
So-
almost
You can
forgot
never
about.
count base out.
Yeah,
baby.
you can't forget about them.
You mean Black? Did you forget? Did you forget your own malt's name?
Shit.
Those were
You
creepy.
can never No, they weren't. They were awesome.
I was
Yeah.
like cringing in my car as I'm listening to that. It's like, oh.
So pulling back the robe for a second, we had to pause the podcast because I was laughing too hard when Chris was doing Crystal.
The
No.
little Georgia
Crystal
Peach.
is
You
her
mean
own
when Crystal
entity.
joined Chris in
Yeah.
studio?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
she just so happened to be here at the same time I did,
Right.
or I was.
That was something.
So
Yeah, no, we got a few. Like they were all over. People either really enjoyed them being on the show or really were bothered by them. I don't know why. They were very nice people.
that's okay. That's how you know if we have friends of the pods or enemies of the pods.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
So
People either listen or they hate listen.
It sounds like Jenna's a enemy of the pod based on that episode.
Whoa, whoa,
I don't know if
whoa.
a co-host can be an enemy of the
No.
pod.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
She said she cringed. That's not cool.
You can have a good cringe,
Yeah.
right?
It was a very good cringe.
It's like,
It
when
was
you
a
say
good
something
cringe.
is cringe-worthy, you, like, can't look away, but you have to watch. I couldn't not
There you
listen.
go.
I had to.
I get that compliment all the time. My friends were like, "Oh yeah, you were dancing at the bar. It was incredible. It was so cringeworthy.
Yeah, see?
You looked great out there. I just couldn't stop cringing." That's how good dancing
I'm
you are.
saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
okay then.
Oops.
I've been proven wrong.
There you go. See? Yeah. But we do have a lot of big news for the pod, I think, coming up forward and for us. I guess I'll start. I'll take the beginning of it all. And hey, I'm not going to be living in Tennessee for much longer, so that's a thing that's happening.
Very big news. Yeah, we're all excited for you on the pod.
Yeah.
Chris,
Yeah,
where are you moving
congratulations.
to? Don't leave us hanging here.
Connecticut. He's moving back to Connecticut.
No, I'd rather die.
Michigan.
No. No, probably not. Sorry.
Montana? He's moving to
Montana. That's literally the last state you have. We named all of the rest of them, so it's got to be
Right.
Montana.
I mean, you're gonna make it so there's a whole 5 people who live in Montana now.
Yeah.
Right. No. So I was offered a position and accepted in North Carolina. So I will be moving.
Woohoo!
I'll be moving out east. So
Too bad they don't have any
Nice.
beer in North Carolina.
yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah,
they're
dry
just
state.
completely tapped out.
Yeah, never heard of any breweries from North Carolina ever, or
No.
some
So
big city that's full of it.
Yeah, I'll be living about an hour and 40 minutes east of Asheville, which is like they were saying, a nothing town, no beer ever, et cetera, et cetera. So it's pretty exciting. I'm excited. Moving the family is going to be rough over the next so many weeks, but it'll be a lot of fun, and get all those North Carolina beers in there.
Yeah, well, I'm excited, and on behalf of our listening audience, I want to say congratulations, Chris. Good luck on the
Thank you.
exciting move.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're all going to be looking forward to hearing updates as we continue recording and as it all
yes.
goes forward.
Obert,
yes.
should we tell him now? Should we tell him?
No, let's not.
Oh.
No? I wanted to tell him that we're not helping him drive his cats to North Carolina this time.
I was banking on it.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening this time.
I
was a
expected
one-time
you guys
deal.
to
How long of a
fly
drive
in
is
on
that?
your own dime and then drive me to North Carolina and drop my cats off.
Yeah, Chris, you said it's like what, a 9-hour drive?
No. It's like 6.5, so it's not even that
Oh,
bad.
that's not bad.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still not doing that drive. I'm sorry.
I guess that's fair. You did help me move the cats 18 hours, so it's fine.
Oh, gosh. That's awful.
Yeah, us, the three of us and 3 cats in a Prius.
Hashtag podcast origin stories.
Yes. Yep.
But
Yep, we had to shuffle the cats around halfway through because they were tired of where they were sitting in the car.
yeah,
Like children.
it was an ordeal.
Yeah, I
but-
had to let my cat just kind of roam freely around my car when we moved to Seattle from Michigan, which is like a 32-hour drive.
That's a long drive.
Yeah.
Did you do it? Did you just drive straight?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. I had my dog
That-
and my cat in the car, and Jake. Jake was there too.
Your dog and your cat and your human.
Yeah, he was the worst behaved out of all of them.
Yeah.
He drove like the whole time. He's a
32 hours.
He's a baller.
Wow.
I mean, we would stop like a few hours in the middle of the night at just like a rest stop and sleep a couple hours, set an alarm, and then get on the road again. Yeah.
Jeez, nice. Woo! I drove
No.
6.5 hours yesterday, and I thought I was going to die. So,
You were also hungover, true or false?
by that time, false. I was in the morning for sure.
False. Can we say false-ish?
False-ish. Yes.
We got a text message that said, I need toast gummies.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I needed them. I needed them bad. Unfortunately, by that time, it was far too late.
Yeah.
But because I'm apparently plotting against myself and my life, I think we need to start drinking again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Chris never learns from his mistakes, let's get down to business.
Who wants to lead us off this week?
Why don't we start with our special guest?
Yeah, I was going to say, let's let the
Was that Obert?
let's let the newbie.
Obert, because he wasn't supposed to be here.
Oh,
Ooh.
touche.
Let's start with our, instead of going to our special co-host, we'll go to our special guest,
Oh.
Jenna.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? Oh, shit. That was a fail.
Well, Oren is
What do
behind me.
what do you
so-
got for us today?
I am drinking Atwater's Decadent Dark Chocolate Ale. They have a really cool label, which you guys will see on Instagram if you can see it here.
Nice. Is that supposed to be Willy Wonka?
I was thinking the same
I don't
thing.
know.
Well, it's
They-
chocolate, so I thought it looked like Willy Wonka to me.
They have really interesting labels. It all looks kind of like, I don't really know. Oh, it does. He's got a chocolate bar. I
It's-
never noticed that.
Yeah, it's William
Totally has a
Wonka.
chocolate bar in his pocket. Cool. Well, this must be their interpretation of it then. But all of their, I don't know. It's really, it's hard to explain. It's like street art, I feel like, but like really artsy art at the same time. You know, I don't know how to explain it. That
Street
sounds silly.
street artsy.
So it's pretty dark, but
Ooh, it's a lot of
very-
SRMs.
it's
I like how you have the
very-
proper glass as well.
And I have the shirt.
Matchy match.
I went
Ha-
all out.
hatch-
Except my bottle opener is shorts. I didn't have an Atwater one. Whoopsie.
Hashtag proper glass mafia.
Is that a hashtag? Is that something?
Are they coming
It's-
to get me?
It's gonna be
If you don't
it's gonna be
use the proper
be started
glassware.
because I'm also repping the proper glass today, boys.
Are they breaking my legs? Is that
I
what's
am
happening?
Not.
Hey,
And also, this is Heffel.
you know, don't ever count the mafia out.
Okay.
All
I'll
right,
remember
so
that next time. So yeah, let's get back to
yeah,
Jenna's
proper
review.
glass
Yeah.
mafia, Jenna.
Getting back to my beer, this
Good.
is a 5% beer. It's 11 IBUs. And, oh, it even has what it pairs with. It says chocolate lovers, smooth movers, and go-getters. I am all three of those things.
Nice.
Ditto.
Pairs with Jenna's.
Yeah, it pairs with Jenna's nicely. It has a really, really wonderful chocolate aroma. I've had this beer before, admittedly, and I love it. Even though it's really dark, it's still really light. And when I first tried it, I was expecting more of that stout and heavy, but it's so light and it's really easy to drink, and the chocolate really comes through beautifully, and it fades really quickly, so it doesn't linger too much. but it's a really great beer for any time. And I mean, if you love chocolate, like this is a really fantastic beer because it seriously smells like chocolate.
Nice. So when I have beers that have chocolate in it, sometimes I notice that and you might have mentioned it, and maybe I just completely
weren't listening,
zonked out, but generally when they add chocolate, it's like more of like your bitter chocolate than like a smooth sweet chocolate. Like, which one would this more align with?
This is definitely a sweet chocolate.
Okay.
Even though it says it's a dark chocolate ale, you would expect to get more of that like bold bitterness flavor,
right? But
you definitely don't. It's definitely decadent, being really sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's just sweet enough to where you're like, oh, I can tell that that's a nice chocolate and, like a dessert beer, I guess.
Okay, nice. So that's good because I actually just had one not that long ago that was like a chocolate stout or something along those lines, and it was just like straight up bitter, and I was like, this is not why I eat chocolate.
Yeah, or drink chocolate.
Right, yeah. That's cool.
I gave this on Untapped a 3.5, but I'm going to change that, I think, to a 4.
What?
Okay.
I know.
A whole half a point jump, huh?
Yeah, right?
I'm stingy, guys.
You are.
Yeah.
I know you are.
So half a point's a big deal. A 4 is a big deal for me. You guys are throwing them willy-nilly.
That's because...
Not Obert.
Because we drink good beers. It's the problem.
I only throw them Nilly.
I would have to agree. I only throw them Nilly as well.
Tud and I throw them willy-nilly.
Right.
Actually, Tud and I probably throw them willy-nilly.
Yeah, wow.
There was a point in time, though, where we realized that we were rating beers way too high, and we've over time, we've stepped that back a little bit.
Taking
You
a
and I were
little bit of the willies out.
A little bit of the willies.
Yeah.
Now
Maybe
it's like
you're-
We were sitting
Will
somewhere,
Willy?
and we noticed it. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That makes
So-
sense.
Will willy-nilly. All right.
So Atwater, that was the name of it. Atwater, correct?
Yep.
What is that, like a Michigan beer, or is that?
Yeah, they are out of Detroit. They've got 3 locations.
Go Lions!
They have 3 locations in Michigan. I think that's all that they have too. There's one in Detroit, one in Grand Rapids, and then one in, I believe, St. Clair Shores.
Nice.
Yeah, they were. I think. Oh man, I just looked this up. Like 1997, I think, is when they were founded. Yeah, 1997.
Oh, they make the vanilla Java porter.
Yeah, that's probably one of their best known beers.
That is one of my favorite porters.
I actually have a Bavarian. They make variants of it now. Which,
Really?
Yeah, which is really astounding to me. They had which I didn't get, and I probably should have. If I can find one, I'll get one and send some to you guys. But they have a 12-pack of variants, so it's all of the vanilla Java porters, but there's like a Bavarian cream. There's like 4 different variants of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's for all you people in the Northeast who, or actually around the country, if you want something that tastes similar to a Treehouse single shot, the vanilla Java porter is a close representation of that you can get pretty much anywhere that Atwater's distributed.
Oh, nice. Single shot's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Never had that.
It's from Treehouse.
I know, I've never had that. Although, I did get some really good beer mail yesterday from, I'd like to say, friend of the pod, Elle.
She's officially friend of the pod. She's deemed friend of the
official?
pod.
Okay.
Yeah, it's official.
Her Instagram is Sip on What. She is in Philly, and she was gracious enough to send me a whole bunch of New England beers, and I'm super excited. I think she sent me a Trillium, some Treehouse, a Hill Farmstead, and some Philly beers. Yeah, you all perked up when I said Hill Farmstead.
Yeah,
that's a hard. I've never had Hill Farmstead. I've never even seen it.
It is the middle of nowhere.
One can.
I had some at Tud's house once. That's about it for me. Yeah, actually, so hashtag friend of the pod, Elle, also, I think I have beer in transit from her, so that's pretty cool. So I'll be able to...
I think she said she was sending you some.
I was pretty pumped. I was like, oh, okay, sounds good to me.
Does she have your new address?
No, it's still my old address, but luckily I'll be getting mail here for a while. So
mine came really quickly, so I'm sure yours will too.
Yeah, I'm hoping I get it sometime this week. It'd be sweet. But yeah, so I'm excited to try some of that Levante brewing that she talks so much about.
She sent me Levante too. I got that glitter beer.
Oh, nice. Cool.
I'm excited.
Cool. Awesome. So, who wants the next one?
I'll go next.
Todd.
Yeah. So, based on Obert's suggestion from probably a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago at this point.
Go back to probably the last episode of the year where we did our New Beers resolution. I think I talked about this.
Okay. So, it took me a while to get there, partly because I'm not really drinking beer and partly because it's way in the middle of nowhere. But I finally made it to Little House Brewing Company in Chester, Connecticut. Everything Obert said in that episode rings true. It's a really tiny brewery in this really cute downtown section of some town that didn't even know was on the map until I was there. I'm drinking today a beer called Okay, We're Kinda Cute, which was a beer that they just kegged this week. It's a brand new New England IPA. It's 8.5% ABV and 47 IBU, and it was, it's out of a crowler, so I took it right home to drink on this pod.
Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to check it out, Todd, because that's one I definitely wanted to recommend to the listening audience, and I'm glad that you took that to heart.
Yeah, I like that glass too.
Yeah, the glass is really cool. It's got a picture of the little house on it, surrounded by trees.
How big of a glass is that? Is that a 16 ounce?
Yeah, it's a pint glass.
I like it.
Their tasting glasses have the same design on it. They're just smaller.
They have very good marketing there.
Yeah, they definitely like to promote the fact that they're a little house. They even have little stickers.
That's funny.
Yeah,
clever.
But even the furniture has, the benches have that Little House logo on them in the brewery.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very well put together.
So this beer is really, really good. I taste Simcoe in it, which, as we all know, I'm not the biggest fan of Simcoe. But this one, it's really good. It's the word I'm looking for, guys.
Starfruity?
It's very... Starfruit. It's very bitter on the back end. It's got a lot of piney resin to it. It kind of reminds me of drinking like a sap.
Was bitter the word that you were looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is my first beer review in over a month.
That's fair.
So.
It's been a long time.
That is true.
I want to say on behalf of the listeners, welcome back to beer, Todd.
Yeah, it's a little heavy. It's a very hazy beer. I like it a lot. I mean, it's probably also helped by the fact that I haven't drank a beer in 2 months.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Right. But I think that even if I was drinking beer this entire time, I think that this beer would still be really good. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 4.
Willy nilly.
Jenna's shaking her head.
I would say,
Jenna,
you look like you want to give it a 4.25.
Yeah,
no,
you just gave it a 4.
I'm going to give it a 4, but I'm also going to give a shout out to the head brewer, Carlisle, and the head of the tap room, Gabriel, who were there last night and were willing to sit down and talk with me and basically just explain the history of the brewery. Gabriel and Carlisle met at Ashlawn Farm, which makes the coffee stout, or makes the coffee that all the breweries in the area use in their coffee stouts. Fox Farm actually has a coffee stout named after it. Carlisle used to be one of the head brewers at Cottrell. He was actually probably one of the brewers when we went there for your bachelor party, Chris. He was there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He was there when incredibly pretentious ale was actually brewed.
That's right.
So,
see the picture with all of our pinkies out.
Yeah.
It's on the Facebooks. We'll put it on the Instagram too. We'll get it all out.
Yeah. He did mention that, during that time there was a lot of bachelor parties that went through there because anytime there was a brewery giving away free booze, you're going to get a lot of bachelor parties that stop by. And then he did mention too, a fun little fact I learned, that the brothers who own Fox Farm, the reason they got the naming rights to the Ashlawn Coffee Stout is because they're cousins or they're nephews of the owner of Ashlawn Farms. So that was just a little bit of good news I got. And they all know each other because they all used to work at the farm together.
Oh.
# beer gossip.
Yeah.
So, Todd, I have a question. Why are you
drinking
answer. Beer now instead of continuing with its keto, right?
I still am. I chose not to eat any carbs today.
I'd say that's a good choice.
Sacrifices for the pod. I like it.
Yes. I really wanted to bring this, when we stopped by, I really wanted to bring this to the pod. So I sucked it up. Didn't eat anything carby all day.
Were you tired?
No.
That's good.
Yeah, not tired.
No, carbs give you energy.
Yeah, but when your body gets fat adaptive, it burns fat for energy. So
Touché.
that's the idea behind it. So I can get Tud fit.
I feel like we need to do like a half-pour episode all about keto because I feel like you have a lot of things you want to tell us about keto, but they never fit into our podcast.
We can
and I cut them all out because it's all anti-carb
That's why,
talk.
We just keep hearing how to talk about keto, and then it's just silence. We're big fans of carbs here on Drinking Alone with Friends.
Big fans.
Carbs sponsor the podcast. That's my handle this week. Carbs, guys.
Carbs. Just straight up bread. Wonder bread.
So Tud, if you don't mind, are you good with your review right now?
Yeah, of course.
All right, cool. I'm gonna actually go next.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about Fox Farm, and all this stuff, and guess who has a Fox Farm beer to talk about?
Who?
Me.
No, wow.
Yeah. So my mom got in today. She's visiting, hanging out with CJ, all that fun stuff, and she brought like a huge bag of beer, as is tradition.
What a good mom.
I know.
It's awesome. So I got some good Fox Farm beers. I got a couple Thomas Hooker beers. So got some good stuff that's currently stocked in the fridge. And as I was going through Untapped, I noticed that I never reviewed a Fox Farm beer on the podcast before. So I'm like, now it's the time. So she actually got me a growler of a new IPA called Weil. Have you had this, Tud?
It's good.
It is good. So as you can see, I may have started drinking before my review.
Drinking alone without friends.
Drinking alone with family.
There we go.
But it's a really, really solid IPA. So hold on. Just for flavor, I'm going to take a sip right now.
I'm really jealous that you're drinking that, but I'm also not jealous because I have this and you don't.
Yeah, that's true. So Weil is a new offering, and it is awesome. It's 7.6% alcohol, nice hazy and juicy IPA. And the thing that I like the most about it, maybe not the most, because I do love bitters, but like I don't get a lot of bitter on this beer at all. Like it's pretty juicy all the way straight through, maybe a little bit. And even Dana had some, and she said that it was kind of like a sip of sunshine with no bitterness.
Wow.
It's really good.
It is very good.
See, now isn't that more pleasant to drink if it's not so bitter?
See, I like bitter.
I know.
I
know you do.
I also like not bitter. So,
but if you can have an IPA that's not so, I don't know, like harsh and so bitter that it just kind of makes you go, ah. And it's just like juicy and more enjoyable to drink, or I guess easier to drink. But maybe because you guys like IPAs, it's all easy for you to drink because you like it.
Yeah, I'm more about like challenging myself, more so than anything. Because then
really,
yeah, absolutely.
Then you need to drink more Belgians, and
I don't take the easy route. Actually, I'll talk about it later. But I had a Belgian that I didn't hate during my trip to North Carolina, but we'll talk about that later on.
Everybody just perked up.
Yes, I know. Everyone, what?
Well, if you didn't like challenging, if we didn't like challenging ourselves in this podcast, we wouldn't do a segment called "Face Your Beers."
That's also very true.
we like to challenge ourselves.
I think Jake and I are going to incorporate someday on our live Monday night segments.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have one of you guys on, or all of you, or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Chris has been on, so we need you two on there too. That would be fun.
Tud loves doing the Instagram lives.
It is. I still don't
addicted
really
to them.
I still don't really get the whole Instagram thing.
Don't worry, we'll handle it.
Doing the Instagram lives is one of the more fun things.
I think Tud's addicted to Instagram.
That we do. I love doing the Instagram
lives.
He's
addicted
so
to being
fun.
famous.
Yeah.
It's also because people compliment my voice, so I really love that too.
Oh my God.
Anytime somebody can talk nice about me, I like it.
Yeah.
Tud's head is still pretty big from the last episode, as you can't tell.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Covering my screen.
But this
is like just a fat joke now.
No.
Yeah. It's a good thing you're doing hashtag TudFit. You need it. But
hashtag Tud head fit.
Yeah.
Hashtag Tud head fit onto my screen.
Yeah.
But this beer is really, really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm actually going to have to go get a refill from the growler downstairs. I'm going to give it a 4.25.
Oh, that's what I gave it.
Okay, see, there we go.
Air high five.
Air high five. Woo! It's really good. If you like, I think even Jenna would like this beer, even though it's an IPA.
Without the bitterness, I probably would. You know, I've got to say, I've been trying a lot more IPAs lately because I like to step outside of my comfort zone. And I've actually found some that I, dare I say, enjoy.
Ooh.
Oh my G.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I actually bought, I don't know if you guys are able to get Old Notion. I'm gonna fuck that name up. Hold on.
I think Old Notion is a brewery I've heard of, so.
They make a beer
and
called M43.
I've had it.
You've had it?
I had it in Michigan.
Oh,
I
yeah, I forgot you've been here. What did you think of it?
I liked it a lot. People, I will say it's a little, I think it's a little overrated because people talked it up as being as good as Treehouse Trillium.
Well, I can't really say much about that. I've never had those, but it's their.
It was really good.
It's their flagship beer.
Yeah.
Which, I, being from Michigan, I only had it like a couple weeks ago for the first time.
It's like it had like a cult following in Grand Rapids.
And I had it on draft. I went to a hockey game a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you guys saw on my Instagram. We met some Sharks players, which is pretty cool.
Hashtag go Preds.
That's cool.
Whatever. We went to a Hockey Town, which is a bar in Detroit. Get it? A Hockey Town, because, you know, Detroit's Hockey Town. But we went there, and I actually got that on draft, and I was like, okay, and I ordered it again, and then I bought a can of it when I saw it at the store.
Nice.
Yeah, and Rochester Mills makes a milkshake IPA, I believe, which I've had on multiple occasions now, and I like that. Oddside makes a IPA called Hop Milk, which is pretty good too.
See, you're becoming a fan of the IPAs.
Baby steps.
Yeah, well, we'll take them where we can get them.
This is better than last time where you flat out just said IPAs all sucked and you didn't like them and you never wanted to try them again and booed everybody who likes IPAs.
Said. No.
So this week I'm drinking a prickly pear pale ale from Lewis and Clark Brewing.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah, I just had to jump right in there because I've been staring at this beer now for like 25 minutes.
What do you want to like drink or something?
I know. Yeah, and I was doing my best to abstain until I got to my section. So it's Lewis and Clark, which is out of, I want to say Helena. Yes, they're in Helena. And this is a beer that you can find. This is the beer from Lewis and Clark you can find most often around here on tap. I've resisted buying it because I was a little hesitant to check out the prickly pear, but I decided to get a 6-pack because I think it's going to be included in the beer giveaway from Montana that I have. So I had to bring it to the pod.
What kind of beer is it again?
It's prickly pear pale ale.
Okay.
They are the winner of the silver medal at the 2018 World Beer Cup for the American Pale Ale. And in 2018, they also won the bronze medal at the Great American Beer Festival for the classic English-style pale ale.
Really?
So pretty renowned pale ale.
Okay.
And it's brewed with real cactus fruit. It says it right on the can.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let's see how you like it. I think the prickly pear, personally, I think it's going to be. I would find that very interesting. Maybe
is this
a little
Tud Cleo moment.
No,
I will say so. The prickly pear is subtle. You don't get a lot of it, but I think it does help bring a nice smoothness. It rounds out the bitterness, the hop bitterness you'd get in the pale ale. This reminds me a lot of one of my all-time favorite pales, which is Sierra Nevada's pale ale. I get a lot of the same flavors here. It's low bitterness. We got 23 IBUs, 5.9% alcohol. I think I rated this before, and I don't remember what I gave it, but it's a toss-up for me between 3.75 and a 4, which is high, but
all very high beers this week.
I think it's hard for me to give a pale ale something that's a rating that high because pale ales are, obviously a little step down from the crazy IPAs and porters we usually bring to the show. But this exemplifies a drinkable, everyday, go to the bar, see it on tap. Yes, I want one of those pale ale. So that's why for me, this gets up to that 4.0 rating.
See, I think I have to disagree with you. Some really good beers out there are pale ales and they're not IPAs. Like Lagunitas has a Born Yesterday pale ale that is very hoppy, as hoppy as any IPA that I've had, but it's a pale ale and it's delicious.
I wonder what makes it not an IPA.
I would guess alcohol content, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Well, then, like
Sounds
a
like
session IPA would be,
That's
know,
true.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's the IBU. Maybe it's
Probably
a
the
combination.
brewing process, maybe.
Yeah, it could be that.
Maybe, yeah, I'm sure.
And
Sounds like
after,
we need to do
out
some
there.
research and come back.
yeah, after reading the awards that this beer has won, like I said, both at the World Beer Cup and the Great American Beer Festival, I think that's something we should do again also in the future, is go and discuss those, because I see that a lot on beers, is those two. And I'm not sure if they're like the JD Power Awards, whereas like anybody can just get one, or actually what they mean. But I think I will say this beer definitely earned both of those awards, and I think it's well deserved.
I know the Great American Beer Festival is like a legit, like, that's like the Oscars.
That's the big one.
Yeah, that's the big one.
Yeah,
That's where
Gold man.
yeah.
they get the golden man for the beer. We should actually probably try to take a trip to that and experience it ourselves.
I want to
Yeah.
go really
Is that
bad.
in Indiana?
It's around I think it's around the country.
Oh, is it?
I think it changes.
Oh, all right.
What's the one that they do in Denver every year?
That
I
might
thought
be
they
it,
had-
actually.
Okay, yeah. Well,
That's-
I don't know. Give it a goog.
Hit the goog.
Nobody else got that?
oh no, we're googing.
What do they say on Zoolander? I can never remember.
It's in the computer.
No, that's the one that's held. So it's always held in Denver. So I
Yes.
just totally lied and
So
said that it rotates around the country.
Okay, that's that's what I thought.
Extreme Beer Fest is the one that goes around the country. Sorry.
Yeah, I will say Denver is one of the few places that I think all three of us could get direct flights to.
Yes.
So yeah, we should make that.
I
Is that
can-
flying out
I
of
can get there,
Charlotte?
too.
Yeah,
Flying out of Charlotte or flying out of Hartford or wherever the hell Obert lives or
Detroit.
Detroit where Jenna lives.
There we go. I think we're gonna have to set this up. When is it, Ted? Hit us with some dates.
I feel like
It
we just
is.
missed it.
Yeah, probably. It was yesterday.
Oh no,
I feel
October
like it's in
3rd to the
fall.
5th.
Oh, yeah.
October
okay.
3rd. All right. Pencil it in. Drinking
Yeah,
Alone with
October 3rd
Friends
to the 5th.
does Great American Beer Festival.
That's going to be a long episode because we're not going to cut any of it. We're just going to walk around with a mic the whole day.
How fun.
Yeah.
It
You
just
heard it here
gets
first.
sloppier as the day goes on.
That'll make good podcasting.
Oh,
Right.
okay. While we're on that subject,
Uh-oh.
I had an idea. You guys should do, so obviously you drink beer on this podcast, but I think what you need to do is a drunk episode.
Well, we had talked about playing Gotta Chug 'Em All on one of the episodes,
That's still on our to-do list. Yeah.
and that would be drunk.
Hmm.
Well, I mean,
Next
you
week's
don't, like,
episode
have
might be a
to-
drunk episode.
You don't have to chug, but I mean, I think it would be funny and fun.
Yeah, I think
For
it would
you all
require
to
a
just
lot of
be like-
editing, but I think we could probably discover some gold amongst all of our drunkenness.
Yeah, just,
Yeah.
have a little buzz on and then just start talking away. I think it would be
Well,
fun.
Jenna, I'm glad to know you don't think we're drunk every episode, so that's good to hear.
I was going to say, ask Chris about the time that he thought I was drunk on one of the episodes. He was not happy with me.
I wasn't
I
unhappy
think that was
with
more
you.
me. I was like, what is going on?
I was
Yeah.
singing. I was serenading you
Yeah.
before the
Yeah.
episode started.
Yeah,
Oh
that was
my
before
God.
the.
See, you should have
before
left
we
that
started
in there. That's great.
We unfortunately hadn't turned on the recording devices yet.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I was
did.
gonna say we may or may not be have like a blooper reel that I've been building. So
that's a good episode, too. A blooper.
Maybe one day I'll sing you Jolene live on the pod over
Okay.
by
like
Dolly
that.
Parton.
Yeah, so speaking of Beer Fest, Jenna, you just went to the Michigan Beer Fest, right?
I did. I went to the Winter Beer Festival in Grand Rapids. Not
I love Grand Rapids.
not last weekend, but the weekend. No, it was last weekend. No, it was the weekend before. Cut that out. It was the weekend before. I went Friday and Saturday. Okay. So aside,
Did you work it or did you just go as an attendee?
I did both.
Okay.
So, aside from Oktoberfest, like in Germany, this was my first beer festival, which
Oh,
is
no way.
crazy. I know. yeah, I went to the Mecca, and then I was like, all right.
Yeah. I beat Brewfest, I
I'm
guess.
done. That's it. But it was...
How?
How did I go to Germany?
No, how have you not been to any more?
Right,
I
you
don't
live
know.
in Michigan, which is known
I know.
as
They
a
have...
beer state.
They have, they have a winter one, a fall one, a summer one, and the summer one is in Ypsi, which is really close to Ann Arbor, and I didn't know that one existed, and they have, I believe, 2 of them in Grand Rapids, the summer and... What are you doing? A summer and a winter one in Grand Rapids. Yeah, I went to the winter one. Friday, I actually got media passes.
Oh, no way.
Which I was really, really stoked about.
So what are the perks of having a media pass?
Well, I got
How
it
did you get a
free.
media pass?
I had to fill out an application. So I had to
Okay.
send the Michigan Brewers Guild an application, and I had to fill it out and say, what forms of social media I use, and, what my handle is and everything, and I assume they probably look it up. But I said
We gotta look into this, boys.
I said it was social media. I'm sure you could do, podcasting, but I put social media, and they actually accepted it and gave me a media pass. I got a lanyard. I got a free ticket that says VIP. It was pretty cool. I got to go to the front of the line. And I got 15 tokens and a little taster cup. So that was pretty neat. And then I met... I guess Friday is, their industry night. So it's more of, the people behind the scenes instead of just, your average Joe trying beer at the beer festival, which was pretty cool. I got to meet a lot of... sales and marketing reps for different companies. So I kind of networked a little bit Friday, which was really neat. And then Saturday I actually poured for Right Brain Brewing. I don't know if you've heard of them.
I have not. What's that? How did you get associated with them, and what is their deal?
So I am involved with My Beer Box. I don't know if you guys have seen that on my Instagram. It's a local thing. I was also on another podcast called Better on Draft. The guy that started it.
You're not allowed to be on other podcasts.
Sorry, I'm cheating on you guys.
Oh, I gave her a ton of flack. It's fine.
He
and then I watched the
messaged me about it, and it's really great. It's a Michigan-based monthly subscription, so you get brewery swag, t-shirts, glasses, stickers, and stuff like that. Free pints and everything. And
Chris, did you sign up for this too? Is that how you got one of your T-shirts?
that was Shirts on Tap.
Yeah, that was the other one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it's really cool because he focuses on the smaller breweries and ones that are not as well known.
So this is how you got hooked up with Right Brain?
Yeah, so through him, he sent a message out hey, does anybody need pouring any day? And Zach, the Right Brain Brewing, I think he's in marketing and sales, contacted me, and I met up with him on Saturday and ended up pouring for them all day until I left, and it was a blast. It was so much fun.
No way.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
How much pouring did you do versus how much drinking did you do?
I actually didn't drink a lot Saturday because I had to drive 2.5 hours home. So I tried. I got in there at 11, and the enthusiast came in at 12, and then everybody else came in at 1. So from 11 to 12, I just kind of walked around and checked out behind the scenes stuff. And 12 o'clock, I drank a little bit, tried some things, and then I headed over to Right Brain to pour. And I tried all of their beer that they had on draft, but it was little sips of it, because the ones that I tried earlier were pretty heavy, 8 to 10%. So I was I need to slow it down. I gotta drive. But that's pretty cool. It was a lot of fun, and I went alone, which was very frightening because first of all,
very, very appropriate for a podcast where the first two words in the title are drinking alone.
Yeah,
right, yes.
Yeah, you're right. But it was very intimidating to me because first of all, I'm a female, and going anywhere alone can be quite intimidating in this day and age, being a female, and going to a festival where I don't know anyone and I don't really know what to do, was kind of like, I don't know, just a little scary and definitely far out of my comfort zone, but I did it. And I ended up meeting up with Matt. He is actually the founder of My Beer Box, and he showed me a lot of different things, different beers, different breweries, and introduced me to a lot of the people. And then I met up with the rest of the guys from Better on Draft. Sorry. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, it sounds like it was a really good brew fest.
It was really cold, and
yeah, I can
that
relate
was
to
my
that.
downfall. But speaking of
Yeah.
cold, tell us about your brew fest.
Yeah, so a couple of
Like
weeks
that
ago, previously right before we recorded this podcast, actually Saturday, March 2nd, I went to the Big Fork Brew Fest in Big Fork, Montana. And Big Fork is a little community right on the north shore of Flathead Lake. It's called Big Fork because they have a Big Fork. And they also have a river called the Big Fork that leads into Flathead Lake there. And, I was fortunate enough to score a ride with the Big Sky Brews Cruise beer bus down to the beer fest. And on the way down, I was joking that only the diehards were going to be out because it was definitely below freezing when we left in the morning. And it got up to single digits by the time the brew fest started. But it was a cold one. I'll tell you what.
So it was outside.
So Big Fork, like I said, it's a little tiny vacation town. You know how you were talking about Chester and Little House? It's like one main strip. It's kind of the same thing where they closed down Main Street. Everybody came in with their own tents, and a bunch, like 30 Montana brewers, all set up shop, and it was really cool. I got to try some beers that people brought their A game. They brought stuff they don't normally have. I was able to try out some breweries from further away than I normally am able to try, and it was a lot of fun. For me, the best beer I had was the Sour Brown from Flathead Brewery in Lakeside. Sorry, Flathead Brewery in Big Fork, actually. And I don't think that they were playing to the home crowd, but they won the best beer of the Brewfest award. And it was really good. I think I gave it a 4.25. I wanted to give it a 4.5, honestly, on Untapped. It was that good of a brown sour. Definitely got that nice barrel-aged flavor to it.
Yeah, that sounds really interesting. I don't know if I've ever had a brown sour.
Yeah.
It sounds a little funky.
They do some good funky brews there. I recommend to our listening audience the Moonlight Paddle sour that they do as well. I think that's only available at the brewery if you ever find yourself in Big Fork, Montana. But no, we had a blast. It was cold. We did our best to stay warm and drink beer before it froze in our little cups. But yeah, we had a really good time. And if you haven't seen it at this point, you missed it. But I did a little bit of a Instagram story.
I saw it.
So yeah, it was fun.
I saw the Big Fork.
Yeah, it was good.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the Big Fork of Big Fork.
Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. I haven't been. I mean, the last Brewfest I went to was with Tud down here in Tennessee. That was this year, right? Or last year?
That was in 2018. Yep, in June.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But
that was a lot of fun.
Itching to go to another one. They're a ton of fun. So I'm jealous of both y'all, even though it was -1,000.
I think I'll have to come down and visit you in North Carolina and go to a North Carolina Brewfest.
Yeah,
yeah. There's probably none that are.
Yeah.
They don't like their beer down there.
Nope.
Yeah, no good beer.
I think
Actually, that's a lie.
I think the headquarters for Brew Shampoo is in North Carolina.
What's Brew Shampoo?
What is Brew Shampoo?
Yes.
You never heard of Brew Shampoo?
I have not.
Not gonna lie, I only saw
Jenna,
it because of your Instagram.
You're talking to three dudes.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's this little company. I think it's a mom and pop shop, and they actually make more than shampoo and conditioner. They have a bunch of different stuff, but they actually make shampoo and conditioner with beer.
Do they make soap?
Yeah, I have a bar of soap that's you can use it as a shampoo, you can use it as a body wash, and it's got a little massage thingy on it. It's amazing. They have all different kinds of shampoo and conditioner. They have I use Color Crazed because it's good for my colored hair, but they have an invigorating one which makes you tingly with peppermint.
Wait, your hair isn't naturally blue like that?
I
Neon
wish
blue?
it was born this way because it would be so much easier.
She's born with it, and maybe it's Maybelline.
That's cosmetics.
That's cool.
Same difference.
But I think they're in North Carolina, so you'll have to reach out to them and maybe stop by.
Yeah,
that's
their
cool.
factory or something.
I mean, clearly my hair needs it. You know?
Right.
It's pretty-
Yeah. It's not nearly as blue as Jenna's.
No, it's
Yeah.
just a slight tinge of blue.
Yeah.
Do they
Nothing.
have one that makes your hair grow?
Can one make
can
you
try
not bald?
using the invigorating one.
That's the problem, Ted. Your head got too big, and now there's no room for your hair.
Thanks.
So I was, having taken a job in North Carolina, I went and visited North Carolina. What are you touchdowning right now?
The brewery that's going to be right next to my new apartment is going to be open 7 days a week now.
Oh, nice.
I'm glad that had to interrupt our podcast.
That's not good for Tud Fit.
Yeah.
No, it's not. But it's good for
Breaking news,
drinking along
folks.
with friends. Yeah.
Ted's living next to freely accessible alcohol.
So just an FYI to everybody, Labyrinth Brewing Company in Manchester, Connecticut is going to be open 7 days a week now.
If you want to stock Ted.
Jenna will be there.
Whoa,
It's not me
where's
you have to worry about.
Yeah, it's Brianna.
Brianna.
Brianna, yeah.
So you stopped at some breweries in North Carolina.
As is tradition, yes. As I was driving out, I did stop in Asheville, and it was my first time ever in Asheville, so it was pretty exciting. And I stopped at One World Brewing. I had their sour IPA, which was pretty solid, not too bad. And then I drove out to Statesville and like Hickory area, and I went to I think 3 breweries there. So definitely made some untapped progress into
There you go.
Yeah, I needed to. I'm so far behind, y'all.
I think with the move, you'll definitely be able to do your hashtag new beers resolutions for the year.
Yeah,
Also true.
yeah, but Blowing Rock was one of them, and that's in Hickory, and that was pretty solid, decent food, and the beer was pretty good, and their black IPA was really good. Really enjoyed that one. And then they also had like a grandfather's breakfast stout, which is an imperial stout that was brewed with maple syrup, chocolate, and something else. I don't remember.
Just like my old papa used to drink.
Yeah, right.
Was that really sweet with the maple syrup?
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because I expected it to be pretty sweet. It was pretty smooth for the most part. You did get a little bit of sweetness from the maple syrup, but then again, the bitterness of the chocolate actually kind of mellowed it out a little bit. So, but it was good. And 4-packs were $9, so I was like, I'll bring a 4-pack
nice.
home.
Yeah.
It was nice. So, but yeah, so
That's really good.
It's like Montana
despite what we're
prices.
saying, North Carolina does have beer.
Okay. Well, we'll have to hear a lot more about that on future episodes.
Oh,
Can
for
I-
sure.
Can
Absolutely.
I just ask a random question because I think it's the first time it's been mentioned on this pod? How do you feel about black IPAs?
Oh no, I was gonna say I personally love them. I like them a lot.
I've only tried one, and I liked it.
I've never met like a color IPA that I didn't like. Red IPA, white IPA, black IPAs. I like them all. Even IPAs named green, I'm a big fan.
I have that one now.
Oh,
Ooh,
you got
nice.
a can of green?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh man, you have to have
Well,
that
if you're
next time you're on
listening,
the pod.
if you're listening,
Hashtag fun fact, that does indeed have Galaxy hops in it.
yeah.
Yes,
I
have Jake.
found one that has Galaxy hops in it, and
Yeah, green. You have it.
no, it's a Weyerbacher beer. I don't remember what it's called. It's in my beer fridge. But it has Galaxy and another type of hop in there.
Nice. You're gonna
The
have to
green-
have
the
Jake
green
let us
kind.
know what he thinks.
I have green and hurricane.
Okay,
Nice.
Hurricane's
We've
good
talked
too.
about Hurricane. on
Hurricane's
this
really good.
podcast, Yeah.
And I
Typhoon.
believe my Hillstead farm is called James.
That's a sour, I think.
Oh, good. I like sours. And my Trillium is scaled up.
Nice.
Ooh.
So we got to reach up to that top shelf today, folks, because we got to get that extra 4th-handled mug. Get the dust off of that. Brush the dust off, and because we got a guest, we got some more handles than usual here. Jenna,
Now with 33% more handles.
yeah. Jenna, would you like to kick it off?
Sure. So my handle this week is actually an app. It is called Ibotta. It is Ibotta. It is a kind of like a coupon app, I guess you could say. Basically, they have different stores on the application, like Walmart, wherever you shop. And there are certain items that if you buy it, you get money back for buying it. Sometimes they have like any item. So you buy any item, you get 25 cents back, or any type of beef or any type of milk, things like that. And you get a specific amount of money back, and you can get gift cards for your money back to different stores, or you can put it right into your bank, which is usually what I do.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. I think I actually signed up for it. I think I have the app on my phone.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I use it every time I go grocery shopping.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I can give you guys my referral code to join up.
Yeah, we'll plug it into the show notes.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. So everybody go and log on and give Jenna free money or whatever that's.
Right.
And I will pass the mug to someone who wants to take it.
Yeah, I'll go next. Thanks, Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
I know we were joking a couple weeks ago about the invisible handle on our Frosty mug was Amazon. But my handle this week actually is Amazon. It's Amazon Music. Because for a long time I've used Pandora, I've used Spotify. I don't like to pay for it because I just deal with the ads. And it annoys me how the ads are just like, hey, if you give us money, we'll stop putting ads in. Like, okay, you're not advertising other products, you're just annoying me at that point. That's why I'm #ToddCranky. But no, I started listening to Amazon Music because I was sick and tired of dealing with all the ads on Pandora and Spotify. And this is a handle I will only say if you have Prime already. If you have Amazon Prime, check out Amazon Music because there's a lot of good albums on there. I was surprised at the selection. No commercials. You can listen to whatever songs you want, whatever order you want, just like Spotify Premium. And I don't know. I think it's kind of flown under the radar for me because you don't think Amazon when you think of music,
Fun fact, they bought CD Now from back in the day.
Were those the guys that sent you like 15 CDs for 5 cents?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So I've been rocking out to Amazon Music. If you got Prime and you're not listening to Amazon Music, but you don't have a membership you're paying for, check it out. I think you'll be impressed.
Do they have like everything or a good mix of stuff or?
Yeah, they do. They have
#dog at the pod.
Yeah.
That does not sound like a happy dog either.
Yeah.
She's hollering.
A couple of the bands that I looked up, they didn't have every one of their albums, but they would have maybe their first album, their most recent album, and their most popular album. If they had let's say 10 albums,
Okay.
So you can't find everything. And I think they have an option where you can pay more and get even more options.
But Obert doesn't like to pay.
Yeah. Like we learned from my handle from last week, I'm all about saving the podcast money, the podcast listeners, from giving money to Wikipedia and now Spotify. So join me on Amazon Music. Save your dollars.
Cool. Yeah. Actually, I used Amazon Music and I use it on my Alexa all the time. So, and there is you pay however much and you get basically every song ever made. But we only use the free stuff and it does well. It plays all of the kids' songs that CJ likes to dance to. It plays.
What's CJ's favorite song right now?
It's a new one. It's also not a kid's song. It's "The Way I Am" by Charlie Puth. There's actually a really funny video on Facebook. So if you go on there, you can see him dancing to it. It's like his new favorite song.
"The Way I Am" is also
cute.
an Eminem song, and I was a little concerned for a second.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a much worse song than the Eminem song, but it is very catchy, and he was rocking out to it. So head over to
Have
Facebook.
you listened to
and check
the
it out. It's
Baby
fun.
Shark song?
Baby
Yeah, luckily
shark,
we've kept it away from him, so he is not onto the Baby Shark phase yet.
How about What Does the Fox Say?
Oh, he loves that song. It's a great song. But cool. Amazon Music.
Yeah.
That's a good handle. That's a good one.
All right, Chris.
Yeah, I can go.
Here you go. Here's the Frosty mug.
Ooh, it's my turn. Taking a drink. So it's getting to be one of my favorite times of the year, and that is Easter time. Granted, it's
Easter around the corner, folks.
It's coming. It's coming.
I thought you were going to say it was your
always your
birthday.
favorite because it's your birthday. Yeah,
That's true. My birthday is coming up. So what is it? 5 days after this episode airs? Yeah, everybody's counting down the days to my birthday. But no, but it's when my favorite candy that ever has been made ever
Cadbury eggs
finally gets released. Your Cadbury Creme eggs.
Oh.
I like those.
They're in the stores. They're ready for me to eat them all. They're delicious. They're amazing. I mean, everybody's had one by now, and if people like Jenna who says they're gross, then you're
I
just
think
wrong.
they're
It's
too
fine.
sweet. I like the Cadbury mini eggs. Those smell
Listen, I like
so
Cadbury
good.
mini eggs too. I think Dana's got a few bags of the Cadbury eggs downstairs.
mini
The mini eggs. Yes,
They
the mini
smell
eggs. Yes.
delicious.
Because the Cadbury Creme eggs, they come in a
Yeah.
box, and if you go to Walmart, you get the 5-pack, not the 4-pack. You know,
You know,
Bargain.
extra egg.
if you go to CVS, you can buy them individually for like 30 cents. So like every time you go to CVS and cash out, you just add one of those eggs into it and get an egg to
Yeah,
go.
no.
this is
I
not.
get
This is not the hashtag HUDFit lifestyle.
No. This is the hashtag buy all the mini eggs or buy all the Cadbury Creme eggs. But I love these things. They've always been my favorite candy for as long as I've eaten candy.
Do you like Peeps too?
No, not really. I'm not a big Peep fan, but you know, I mean, I like our Peeps, but I don't like
Ted,
Peeps
by the
the
look on
candy,
your
so-
face, you find them repulsive.
Oh, they actually might be the worst candy on the face
Yeah,
of the
they're
planet.
gross.
No, that's
No.
Whoppers. But
Yeah.
Do you see
Check
how?
out episode Caramellophobia, whatever that
yeah.
was, for a previous Face Your
Oh
Candy
yeah, that's
beers.
right. Face your beers, candy.
Do you
edition.
see all of the different flavors that they're making now, like root beer float and stuff, and Peeps?
No.
Yeah, it's gross.
I don't even pretend that Peeps
No,
exist.
No, no.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. My
Peeps aren't great.
my little local grocery store has like really weird flavors where I actually stopped and went, ew, like audibly by myself in the store.
The only reason to get Peeps is if you want to feel like you're 12 years old again and throw them in the microwave and watch them blow up.
I never
That's-
did that
Yeah.
because I never liked Peeps.
You don't like. Well, I would think you'd like destroying them then if they're
I just
You
made sure
like-
that Mom of the Pod never bought them for me.
okay.
It's a good point.
Yeah. For me, the least favorite Easter candy is those gross eggs. You know what I'm talking about? The gross, like little ones, like this big.
The Cadbury
They're
Cream
like-
eggs that Chris is talking about.
No,
Just the
no,
little
they were like,
chocolate ones that are like foiled.
they were. Yes, they're
where it's
kinda
like
like
bad
Whoppers.
chocolate.
Yeah,
Oh yes,
they have
yes,
that weird texture on the inside, and you're like, are these from last Halloween or what?
They're like a really bad like crackle bar or something.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
exactly.
Like a Nestle Crunch gone wrong.
Yeah. So Ted, why don't you take it home?
Yeah. Use that fourth handle.
Yeah, so with the fourth handle, I'm going to actually talk up a Netflix comedy special that we just watched. And it's Ken Jeong's comedy special called You Complete Me, Ho.
He's the guy from Community, right?
I know him more from like The Hangover.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, same guy.
Yeah. He's that guy from The Hangover and Crazy Rich Asians. He's also in that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The stand-up comedy special is hysterical. It's on Netflix everywhere. It's about an hour and a half long, and I never realized he was as funny as he was. I've actually never really been a fan of him in most things, but watching this stand-up special got me, laughing. He also is
He's like such an expressive comedian.
Yeah.
He
used to be a doctor,
I haven't seen
too.
his stand-up yet, but I could definitely see that being, I've seen it on Netflix recommended to me, but now that you make that your handle, I'm going to go to my way and watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. He also talks about how he used to be a doctor before he became a comedian, before he was on The Hangover. So he's got a lot of good stories about that, too. So I was just really surprised with all his life experiences and who he was, and it made the comedy special even funnier as you learn this about him. So go check it out. It's on Netflix everywhere. I'm sure everybody at this point in time has a Netflix account, so go watch it.
Yeah, so I know Obert said it, but if you enjoy his comedy, you should at least try and watch Community. I just
Secret
watched
fifth
it.
handle.
Yeah.
Bonus handle.
He was also
Bonus
in
handle.
in an episode of The Office.
Was he?
Was he?
Mhm.
Oh,
When Michael
yeah.
goes to his improv class
Right. That's
Yes,
right. He keeps on pulling a gun on everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking, I was like, man, he's like surprisingly in a lot of shows like that you don't remember until you rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
But you, Tud, if you haven't watched it, you should check out Community because he's in that and it's pretty funny. I enjoyed that. It's a great show.
So with that, thank you everybody for listening. We'd like to thank the people who provided today's beer. I'm going to go first and thank Little House Brewing for their "Okay, We're Kind of Cute" New England IPA.
I'd like to thank Fox Farm Brewing for the Weil IPA.
Yeah, I'm going to thank Lewis and Clark for the Prickly Pear Pale Ale.
And I'm going to thank Atwater Brewery for their decadent dark chocolate ale.
Make sure everybody goes and follows us on all the social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Untapped at DAWF Podcast. Also, make sure that everybody's going on Instagram and following at The Brew Locker as well to follow Jenna and see what she's posting. Hashtag follow the email for us with comments, questions, concerns, general thoughts, hatred, or
No
just...
general thoughts.
Yeah, no, definitely all the general thoughts. And that email is dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you're going onto iTunes and giving us a 5-star rating and leaving a review. It really does help move us up in the charts there, guys, so make sure you're going to do that.
I know Tud already said it, but I just wanted to reiterate, check us out on Instagram because you'll find all the fun stuff like me freezing my butt off at the Big Fork Brew Fest. And, it wasn't something I was able to bring live to the pod, but it was something cool to share on Instagram. So if you're not already checking us out there, I don't know why you're not. You should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, we want to put over Kingsley Acrylic, which is her Etsy shop.
Jenna's artsy account.
Yeah, she does good work.
Thanks.
And I do bad. I'm a
Tud, actually, I haven't talked to you since. Did you receive that?
I did.
Yeah.
I sent you a message.
What did you get?
Tud's mom ordered in something.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah, I got the
Hashtag
picture.
mom of the pod.
I got the picture of the hop.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't bought a frame for it, but I will.
Yeah, she
So I gotta
messaged
frame it and
me,
put it on the wall.
and she was like, I heard you on my son's podcast, and I thought he might like this.
Oh, hashtag mom of the pod. Adorable.
I know. I was like, oh my god. And I initially sent Tud a message, and I was like, thank you. And then realized that it was his mom. Because I looked in, like, the gift message portion, and it said, like, thought you would like this, love mom. And I was like, oh, shit. He was like, oh, what for what? And I'm like, oh, wrong person, just kidding.
Yeah,
I had no idea
what name. It's really confusing.
That was random that I even knew that part of Instagram existed. So
What is this paper airplane with a number 1 next to it?
yeah, comedy of errors of how that all occurred. But yeah, I do have it. I got to get a frame for it. It'll go on the wall once I find the proper.
Well, you
frame.
better frame it and then send us a
Awesome.
picture on the Insta.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you need any more beer art,
There you
You
go.
know
Okay.
where to go?
I know. I'm your girl.
And so with that, my name's Tud.
My name's Chris.
My name's Obert.
And I'm Jenna. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
There we go.
So, frozen asses in the beer fest. Worth it? Yes or no?
I say yes. Even though my